friends of Allah, the awliya, through our Shaykh, to send us something that we're going to benefit from, to learn. Something that is fresh, something that is alive, something that is going to give us benefit in this world and the hereafter. This is sohbat. This is an association. This is not a classroom. This is not a lecture. I did not go off and prepare something and come with so many books or slides or quotes and come to speak to you. No. There's no preparation. Preparation is something else. The preparation is getting ourselves to clean the channel between us and Allah, so that when it is necessary, then Allah, through the love of His Prophet and the awliyas, they will send us something that is necessary for us. This makes the knowledge that we are about to receive fresh and immediate. This makes the knowledge that we've learned before to be stale, because we're asking for what is necessary now, at this moment, for you, that is in front of us. Otherwise, when we are preparing something, it is to an imaginary audience. You are not connected to heavenly station. It is very difficult then to reach to people's hearts. You may reach to their minds maybe a little bit, or you're going to touch to their ego. But they're going to learn wrong things. So many are running after stale knowledge, the knowledge of the scholars, the external knowledge. More and more people are running for it, but we see that this world is not getting better. It is like if you have in a city, so many people are becoming doctors, but the whole city is becoming more and more sick. So something is wrong there. If the scholars are supposed to be the doctors of law to help, then why is this world, this nation of the Muslims, the condition of the Muslims, getting worse and worse and worse? What is the khutbah saying? The khutbah is saying now, one simple warning that is coming from Allah and from the Prophet, unchanging, that we can always take lesson from, that it never gets stale, it never gets old. But we have to look at it, and we have to look at our lives, and we have to put it together. The knowledge of the scholars, it is there, it is in the books, but it is not opening the books of your lives. The sheikhs, they open the books of your lives, and they make you to open your books, what is here, to make you to examine your heart. Now Allah has a book, the Prophet has a book, alayhi salatu wassalam. We have a book too. What is written in our book? The words of Allah and the words of the Prophet, or the words of our ego and the words of our desires? Or the khutbah is saying what? The first pull, the pull of the dunya, of this world. First we have to understand this, that this world, like what the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying openly, the value of this world is like the value of the waist of a human. This is clear. You want something clearer than that? And our Shaykh, Sahibul Saif, Shaykh Abdul Karim, is saying, this world is designed as a toilet. Because when Adam alayhi salam and Hawa, they ate from the forbidden fruit, and they had a stomach ache for the first time in paradise, and they needed to excrete. They were sent to the world to pass it. This world is a toilet. What the awliya Allah, now Shaykh Effendi, Shaykh Abdul Karim Effendi, he never pulled out this hadith, correct? But is this hadith, when he said that this world is a toilet, is it not connected to this hadith completely? 100%. But he's making it very easy and understandable and very deep for us to take and to continuously taking from it. This is one of the miracles of the awliya Allah, that they don't go through formal training, but they are always in association, in sohbats like this. In the sohbats of other awliya Allah, the way that the companions of the Prophet, they were in association with the Prophets. They never went to school. They didn't go to classes. They sat in the presence of the Prophet ﷺ, and whatever that is in their hearts that they are asking for, that is necessary, the Prophet is giving. So if you come to an association with an empty cup, it is easy for us to fill it. If you come with a full cup, then we cannot put anything in it. Empty it first. And those who are becoming more murids, real believers, they're not even going to come with a cup. They're going to break the cup and say that it is better. You make a cup for us. So now, this world, very quick now, when ayats are pulled out, talking about the reality of this world, when the hadith is pulled out, talking about the reality of this world, when the words of the awliya Allah, they are pulled out, when our own experience are pulled out. Very quick, those who call themselves very high-level Muslims, just yesterday we were talking about this, they say, but that dua that Allah and His Prophet is teaching us is saying, Ya Allah, give us the best of this dunya and the best of the akhirat. But Allah is making us to say the dunya, this world, before akhirat. That means that this world is more important than akhirat. So we should not, akhirat is second. First it is dunya. They're taking it and they're turning it upside down. This is what is meant by the last days, this akhir zaman. Black is white and white is black. And they turn everything. There is confusion everywhere. Just like that hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, Shaykh Effendi mentioning over and over again. What did he say? Shaykh Effendi is saying, Prophet ﷺ is saying, work for this dunya as much as you are going to live in this dunya. As long as you are going to live. Meaning as much as you need to survive in this dunya. And work for the akhirat, for the hereafter, as much as you are going to live in the hereafter, as much as you need the hereafter, as much as you are going to be in the hereafter. It is clear to us, when Shaykh Effendi is explaining that, saying that you're going to live in this dunya, you're going to survive in this dunya. What really do you need to survive? Do you need all this stress and all this complication and all this luxury and all these headaches to survive in this dunya? Did Allah not design everything for mankind for us to survive? We think we're doing something. Who is making the sun move from east to west? We are. We think we are doing something so hard, we have to work so hard for this world. Who is bringing the rains from the skies? We are. Who is making the crops to grow? We are. Allah is saying, if you look at all these things, the alternation of the night and the day, the sun rising, the ships on the ocean, the rain falling, you will see the signs of our greatness. That's the time. Yes, you don't need to go learning book knowledge. You're going to sit and Allah will then open the book of creation in front of you, and you are going to read and you're going to marvel at your Lord. You're going to remember your Lord, and you're going to come close to Him, because He has created us to remember Him. He has created us to know Him, and more you know the greatness of your Lord, more closer you're going to become. No? So now this life will teach you, this nature is going to teach you. And this world, Allah has created everything for us to survive in this world. It is not that difficult. What makes it difficult? Don't say it is nature or the creator of nature makes it difficult. We make it difficult. Man makes it into a hell. Man has turned this world into a hell for each other. Allah did not create this world as a hell. There's a bathroom, yes, it's necessary. But He did not create this world as a hell. We have turned it into a hell. With what? It is not because of religion too. It is because you are not understanding your ego. That part of yourself that is the most disobedient one, even if you've taken shahadat, but if you're not training your ego, your nafs, that nafsu amara, that disobedient nafs, to become a nafsu mutma'in, to become an obedient nafs, that ego, you're praying, you're fasting, you're doing so many good things. It looks like you don't train your ego, you can become the worst one in the name of Allah. But in reality, you're not doing it in the name of Allah, you're doing it in the name of your ego. So now, we live in this world how long? 60 years, 70 years. Add a couple more decades maybe. What do we need to survive in this world? Very little. How long are we going to live hereafter? Eternity. Eternity. You're going for a 1 week trip, a weekend trip somewhere. You pack your whole house, especially the women's. They pack the whole house. They take everything but the kitchen sink. They don't take. You prepare everything. Then you think we don't have to prepare for our trip, our journey to the hereafter. What are we going to need there? Don't think it is magic. This religion is not magic. It is intelligence. So now we have to prepare. As much as we're going to live in the hereafter, we have to prepare. So now, yesterday we talked about that dua, fit dunya wal akhirah. Ya Rabbi, provide us the best of this dunya and the best of this akhirat. And the best of this dunya, it is according to what Allah and His Prophet say it is the best, not according to our ego. Because according to the ego, we want this whole dunya. According to the ego, according to our desires, this whole dunya, if we have this whole world with everything in it, is not enough. If you give another world like this, it is not enough. But those who have submitted their will to Allah, they say, Ya Rabbi, whatever you've given me, it is more than enough. And I'm happy. So the best of this world, it is according to what Allah has given you. It is what Allah has shown His prophets, how they live according to this world. Didn't they live the best of this dunya? Yes, they did. Because the best of this dunya, it is not to make this dunya to pull you away from akhirat. The best of this dunya, it is not getting the riches and the luxuries of this world. Everybody knows when we say, what kind of life? Oh, I don't want to be too rich, I just want to be comfortable. I just want to be comfortable. That's good. In the West, when they retire, they say, I just want to be comfortable and have a simple life. Oh. So you woke up. Maybe you take 50 years to wake up to want the simple life. When the blood it is pumping when you are young, you want to have very exciting life. But later you say, I just want to have a simple life. What kind of life? American dream, American Jannat. I want to have a house by a lake. Yes? I want to retire by a house by the lake, keep a couple of chickens, and that's it. Are you happy? I'm very happy, they're saying. And you know what? That is the life Allah has designed for humanity, for our nation, for His nation to live, not when you are 60, 70 years old, that you have to live when you are young. To have that simplicity. What happens when you have that simplicity? You have time. You're not busy. You're not pulled. Now you can read the books that Allah sent. You can read the nature. You can enjoy. You can read each other. You can remember Allah. Then everything around you is going to remind you of your Lord. Because He's not going to pull at you. So that is the best of this world. Now, they take that hadith. I know especially in Southeast Asia, they take that hadith. They say, work in this world as much as you live in it, and work for the akhirat as much as you're going to live in that. And they're taking that hadith, and they say, you see, we're going to live in this world a short time. These are alims, scholars who twist this. That hadith means you're only going to live in this world for 60, 70 years, a short time. You have to work as much as you can because you have a short time. But for the akhirat, it's forever, so relax. You don't have to do anything for the akhirat because you're going to live forever. Relax. This is shaitan's teachings. Taking something and twisting it. And this is very popular, and this is the way that it's being spread through millions of people. And they say, you see, this justifies it. So we have to run after this world. Yes, you are running after this world. There used to be once upon a time when Muslims are even living in this world, running after this world, their role model in front of them is how other Muslims are running after this world. Okay? They're looking at rich, powerful Muslims who are running after this world, who have power, who have money, who have everything, and they say, wow, I want to be like that when they're running after this world. And now they don't even have Muslims to be their role models. They're running after unbelievers. And you know what happens then? They become even worse than the unbelievers. Worse. Worse than the unbelievers. Because a sickness now enters into their heart. We know what is happening in this world right now. Whole world is shocked by those images of the little Syrian boy that is washed ashore. We are shocked, we are very sad, and we are crying for that one. But what that is happening to that is because of one picture. One picture. That some way, somehow it leaked. You think it happened only yesterday to that one boy? It has been happening to thousands like that every single day. For a very, very, very long time. Specifically, after the fall of the Khilafat, when injustice comes out and oppression starts to rule, and now the blood of the innocent ones, it becomes very cheap because there is no protection. And what is happening to those ones there? They are caught in a ship and they want to go somewhere. You don't hear too many Muslim countries opening their doors, exceptions like Turkey here and there. Most of the Muslim countries that are near to that area there, so many of the Muslim countries there, they have so much wealth. Understand how they are being opposite to Allah and His Prophet. They have so much wealth, they start to make their toilets to be made from gold. Okay? They have so much wealth that they're burning money just to show off how much money they have. They have so much wealth that they are wasting. They have so much wealth that they can ransom this whole ummah and save us from that poverty over and over and over again. But they're not doing it. They're wasting all that money. And now you see so many non-Muslim nations, they are coming forward because their hearts are still alive and they are offering to help. Simple people. People that their hearts, they're not sick, diseased by this dunya because they were not taught wrong things. Once upon a time, going back a little bit to Portugal. Once upon a time, when the Muslims, they were ruling the Iberian Peninsula, Portugal and Spain, for 800 years. Then after that, the Muslims there, they fell into wrong areas, wrong thinkings, wrong actions, and Allah punished them. And the unbelievers came and retook that whole peninsula after 800 years. Understand, 800 years. We're not talking about 50 years. 800 years. This nation in America is 300 years, no? Imagine 3 times as long. How much more civilization? Spain, Andalusia at that time, was the most advanced nation in the West. But compared to Baghdad, compared to Shams, compared to the Muslim nations, Andalusia is still in the backwater compared to the technology and the advancement and the enlightenment in the Muslim capitals at that time. Okay? But this, Andalusia, was the most advanced nation in that region according to the especially Western standards, that when they came and they destroyed 99.9% of the Islamic civilization now, back then, with that 0.1% of Islamic knowledge that the Spanish they took, they became the most advanced nation in Europe at that time. Way ahead from all the others. So the reconquistadors, they came. They threw out the Muslims, or they forced them to become Catholics again. And there were a big number of Jews that were also there, that at that time they were living with the Muslims, and it was a golden age for the Jews too. Understand also, don't believe these lies that people are saying, oh, Muslims and the Jews, they've always been enemies for all these thousands of years, hundreds. There is a complete lie. Muslims and the Jews have always lived together. In fact, the Jews, they have found their highest civilization, the best time in their history, under the rule of the Muslims. In Baghdad, in Spain, in Istanbul, in every major city, the Jews are there, and they have such a high civilization. Hazrat Umar, when he retook Palestine, when he retook Jerusalem, Qudus, they were under the control of the Christians at that time. The Christians, they banned the Jews from coming to pray at their temple. He banned them. The emperors banned them from coming for such a long time. Hazrat Umar, first rule, he says, bring the Jews back, because they are Ahli Kitab. They are people of the book. Bring them back. Let them to have freedom of worship. And when they showed him where the Masjid al-Aqsa is, and the Christians to insult the Jews, they turn that part that they call the Wailing Wall, that part of Sulaiman alayhi salam's masjid, not temple. Masjid means jami. Jami means the place that people come together. Allah is jami, the one who brings people together. The Christians, they made that into a public latrine, public toilet. They're piling excrement and everything just to insult the Jews, and they banned the Jews from coming. The Jews were in exile. Hazrat Umar invited them back, and he says, look for that area that is holy to you. They say it is over there. Hazrat Umar himself went and he dug it with his own hands. The Muslims and Jews, they have lived together peacefully, not only peacefully, not just tolerating each other. They're able to put the differences aside and to make this world a better place for people to live. Because the Muslims saying, Allah is saying, Holy Prophet was saying about the Ahlul Kitab, leave them, don't force anything on them. Holy Prophet is saying, Lakum dinukum waliyad-din, to you your religion and to me mine. If they want to come, they come. But you don't force them. If we force them, if we forced Jews or Christians or unbelievers to become Muslim, we did a very bad job. Because if we forced and we brought Islam by the sword, this world from the Balkans, sweeping all the way to Turkey, to the Middle East, to India, to Western China, to Southeast Asia, this whole area, there would not be one single church or one single synagogue or one single temple. Because all this area was ruled by the Muslims. If we ruled by the sword, we had the power, not for 1 year, 2 years, 10 years. We are ruling for hundreds of years. We are ruling for over 1,000 years. We're ruling for 1,300 years. You think we didn't have enough intelligence that way to say, let's just destroy their places of worship. You know what? Let's destroy their language too. Force them to learn our language so they cannot then access to their own traditions and their own cultures. You know what? Make them to dress like us. Impose colonization the way that the West imposed colonization. Never did. The Ottomans, they ruled all this area. They never did. The Turks, they were ruling India. They could have made almost the whole of India was under Muslim rule. The whole of India was, except for a few errant states here and there. They could have destroyed every temple. That they're talking ugly things about Sultan, Hazrati Aurangzeb, saying he hates the Hindus, you're doing this, you don't understand, that is what the British put in your history books to make you to hate each other. Because you know why? The Hindus and Muslims, they were living good together too. There are records, there are firmans from the temples, Hindu temples, just a handful of temples, they didn't go through all of India, just a handful of temples to say, did Aurangzeb offer any help to these temples, to you? They can produce the firman today to show, yes. The Mughals, they actually gave money to help us to build these temples. So what kind of lies are we living in this world? A man who is thinking, who is waking up, who is learning knowledge, is going to understand. And he's going to know, he's going to make his faith to become better. So now, in this Iberian Peninsula, going back to that. When they massacred so many Muslims, when they force converted so many Muslims, then when they kicked out the Jews, and the Jews were in ships, and they were just in the ship, no country in Europe wanted to take them. The Ottoman Sultan issued a decree to say, we receive them. Let us take these Jews, Sephardi Jews from Spain. We take them because, why? They are Ahli Kitab. We will take them and we'll put them into our land. We give land to them. We give everything that they need. And there are still descendants of those Jews living in Turkey today. This was the spirit of the Muslims. That Muslims don't look to see whether someone is Muslim or not. They look at whether that person is a human or not. They help because that one is a human. And if that one is not a human, they help too. Because we have been taught to take care that which Allah creates. We cannot even be cruel to a cat. It is forbidden for us. The Prophet ﷺ says, this is woman, she's a pious woman, she prays, but she lets her cat to die from hunger and thirst, she is in the hellfire. It is forbidden for us to even burn ants. So it gives us humanity. And now, the Muslims, rulers themselves, who have so much money, like in Turkish, they say of the Arabs, they don't know what to do with that oil. They take that oil and they rub it everywhere. Those Muslim rulers, they turn a blind eye. Allah is not blind, and He's watching. And the rights of the oppressed, they're all written down. Maybe we are not responsible. What much can we do? Everyone, some way, somehow, yes, but our hands are tied. Those ones, their hands are not tied. Where are so many of them? Where are they that talk so much? Where are all these Muslim politicians here and everywhere? Where are those Muslim rulers showing off with their fancy lifestyle that is completely haram? We say that because isn't wasting haram? Wasting is haram, yes. And if you make a toilet a toilet, they make the toilet seat from gold, that is haram. Because the believer knows whatever is in our hands, the orphan has a right to it. Those widows, they have a right to it. The poor people, they have a right to it. That's why zakat, it is a very big part of our faith. Zakat is not just to write a check and to give. Zakat is supposed to make us to understand that this, what we have in our hands, it doesn't belong to us. It is given to us as a trust, as an amanat. And it may be taken away from us. So a few hundred years ago, the Ottoman Sultan welcomed Jews because they were holding the flag of the Prophet high. In the Akhir Zaman, not even the Muslim rulers, they look to the Muslim refugees that are drowning in the waters that is in their neighborhood. Shame on them. And Allah is watching. And the revenge of Allah is coming. We're asking for forgiveness. For us to wake up a little bit, to understand now, it is not what you have from this dunya, from this world, that is going to make it good or not so good. It is not how much you have. Don't you see all these Wahhabi Arab kind princes, whoever, billionaires? They have so much. Is this world turning into a better place? No, it's turning into a worse place. It is not what you have in your hands, it is what you have in your heart. And whatever that is in your heart, you always want to share. What you have in your hands, you want to hold it tightly. May Allah keep us in safety, inshallah, and send help to those ones who are being oppressed, and send ease to them. And send us a Savior, Mahdi alayhi salam, to come to bring back justice into this world. Ya Rabbi, forgive us for the sake of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam and Sahibul Saif. Al-Fatiha.